placed a second FBQ in the rack. I've removed the MDX 4600s. I've just got one more there. The other one's been removed, so that one's going to be, that one there is already disconnected. So I just got to remove it from the rack, because another FBQ will go down there. Using the FBQs. This one up here is for the center channel HF horn. This one down here for left and right HF horn. And along with the DCX, the FBQ, I've got up to 29 parametric PEQ bands per single each HF horn, and that gives me a little bit more better resolution, better way of tackling. Go to the DC. I've got Bear running around. Yeah, that's still active though. Just mute that. Just put the HF center on. Oh, Bear's watching the turn the fader up. So if I were to turn the FBQ off, frequency response is going to alter, and this is going on the output of the DCX and then passing on to the amplifier, so there will be a tiny little pop sort of thing, unless of course I'll just mute that pink noise, unless of course I put a simple switch between, and then I can mute the or turn the sort of like bypass the, you know, so that won't you get any of that pop sound, and it's very little, but still. Anyway, I think there is a bypass on here. Let me see, I think there is a bypass switch. That one there. Oh yeah. So I bypass it. Just focusing down there. There we go. I'll unbypass it. And bypass it again. It's very, very little to see. Let me look at that band there. Yeah, that's raised up a little bit. So, and then of course got the DEQ. That's DEQ. That's the DEQ. No, that's the DEQ. Oh gosh, what you call it? DCX. So if I bypass, turn it off. Yeah. That sounds a bit more smoother, or a bit more consistent with the frequency bands, because I can sum the level up between the all channels, and then the frequency response is just going to go up and up and up and up by so many dB, and also check in for consistency, checking for frequency, tonal sound between, you know, because it might sound a little bit, might have a little honkiness somewhere, or a bit more kind of, you know, really sharp, but that might be just down to simply the alignment, you know, and having to take the get the HF horns all back up on a table and then go through them all again, realigning the phase, the diaphragm with the phase plug, and that takes hours. That is not for the average home cinema user. There is a bit of an oddness I'm seeing on stage right, and I ain't taking anything down at the moment because the screen and the screen channels. I've already got someone to come round late May, early June, and this is going to be taken down and lower the screen channels down by, if not 8 inches. Just lower them down a bit, the whole lot, and rebuild the stage, and then just maybe make some wood to go on the side of the wall, and a kind of one over this side fitted to the wall, and coming out a little bit, and then a little support beam underneath it, because on that side I can just have a piece of wood screwed to the wall and a little piece of wood coming out a little bit just to hold that screen. That's all it needs. That screen weighs less than the OLED. In fact, that screen weighs less than probably my CP500, if you know what I mean. There's not much weight in it. But if it was a proper like a sail and you've got wind blowing out the tire, it'd be sure enough to take you off your feet. So that's just a little alteration that I'm gonna have done in a few months, in a month or two. I just can't be asked to go behind the screen and just take the flipping thing down, all the HF horns down. But they're okay. They're okay. I spent quite a bit of thorough time on doing them last time. I don't know how many hours, but it was a lot. It was more than I think almost over 8 hours, because there's a lot of tracks to be done. Because when you put these things in place, you know, you don't really want to have to go behind the screen and take them down, and because you can't just take one down, you've got to take them all down. It's not as simple as one may think, because the complexity of the phase plug, the diaphragm aligning up with the phase plug, it's very bit of complexity there. There is the same with a bass driver, but you know, once you re-foam it or recone it, with a new voice coil, it's got to be centered absolutely 1-to-1, so that when you press on it, it doesn't have any rubbing sound, and when you play a sine wave low frequency, so it's moving, you don't have to play it at stupid levels where it's going like that, just enough, and then you just listen for any scraping sounds, and if there is, yeah, you just slightly align it a little, just gently, just before all the glue sets on it. I think aligning a tweeter is also kind of a bit of a complexity, but I think I've repaired one tweeter before, but I can't remember when. Can't remember. But it didn't seem much of a big deal. Than a compression driver horn is I thought it would be easy. Anyway.